one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for who? For you? For some? Not for us, not for our people, so please stop saying we equal with your flag of red, white, and blue in one hand. You beat us, until we're black and blue with the other beat us, until we're none beat us, until we can't walk straight, then you put us in chains if we lucky. But for the ones of us who aren't so lucky, you tell us to put our hands up as some type of sick tribute to your privilege, and then you pull the trigger into our bodies laid down on your ground, pull the trigger until your clip is empty, pull the trigger until we make your evening news, and then when our children cry, we have to look our children in the eyes and tell them that they have to be cautious, that when they walk your streets, they have to do so in fear, that they have to spend an entirety of their life looking over their shoulder, because you will hunt them down and you will bury them.
Prosecute the police!
Makes me absolutely sick. I cannot believe this just happened here. This didn't need to happen. This could have been prevented. This could have been prevented. There are people injured out there, and you could have prevented it, but you chose not to. You did that. You have to live with that. Police, do better.
It's not us. It's the police. This the madness that they spark up. This is what they encourage. This is what they provoke. This is what you get out of you taking a loved one from someone. This is what you get. You get a lot of people that's hurt, and they can't vent the right way. They can't no longer depend on the police to be here to protect us like they say they gonna do. So this is what you get. And no, it's not gonna end today. I can't tell you it's gonna end tomorrow. I don't know when it's gonna end. But it's for y'all to start. We're not the ones that's killing us. Y'all killing us. We can't make a change if y'all don't change.
Robinson, I am the mother of Jamarian Robinson. Who was Jamarian Robinson? Jamarian Robinson was a student athlete at Tuskegee University. At the time of his death, Jamarian Robinson was a biology major. A little bit about Jamarian Robinson: he was smart, he was intelligent, he was humorous, he was athletic. Jamarian was my firstborn son. He was the oldest of 8 grandchildren. Jamarian was a loving and giving person. A little about his story, what happened to Jamarian Robinson. On August the 5th, 2016, Jamarian Robinson was sitting inside his girlfriend's apartment watching TV, minding his own business. At approximately 1:30 p.m., her door was battle rammed open by a group of road police officers. And upon battle ramming the door open, they immediately opened fire at Jamarian Robinson, shooting him 76 times. Jamarian had a total of 76 bullet wounds to his body. Over 90 rounds were fired.
They stood with us when immigration was happening, when all this shit was happening. Now it's our turn to stand up with them. Go ahead and share this if you agree with me. I know I'm a little kid, but still, we gotta stand up with our people, you feel me?
Never have I ever, white people edition. Put a finger down if you've ever been to Starbucks more than twice in the same day. Put a finger down if for some reason your family arrives super early at the airport. Put a finger down if you own cowboy boots, Birkenstocks, or Crocs. Put a finger down if you've ever struggled to find someone who looks similar to you in TV shows or movies. Put a finger down if you've ever been bullied at school or excluded from friend groups because of your skin color. Put a finger down if you've ever been denied a job, housing, loan, or an education because of your skin color. Put a finger down if you've ever been stopped or questioned by the authorities or had the authorities called on you even when you weren't doing anything wrong because you looked suspicious or threatening. Put a finger down if you've ever been verbally or physically assaulted because of your skin color. And lastly, put a finger down if you have ever been murdered solely for being white. Notice how you still have 7 or more fingers up? That is white privilege. What is not clicking? What do you not understand at this point?
Now look here, guys, I ain't no goddamn rocket scientist by any stretch of the imagination, okay? But I have a public service announcement for the state of Georgia. And y'all know I'm notorious for telling it like it motherfucking T.I. is. So, Georgia, here's your 60 seconds, okay? Look here, y'all. Georgia needs to get a grand jury to decide whether or not they need to press charges against someone for shooting an innocent man 3 times point blank with a fucking shotgun. I mean, brain surgery, right? No, what the issue is here is that good old boy mentality that has been infecting the U.S. judicial system for fucking centuries now. Because, you know, the motherfucker that went and parked ahead of him in the road after he brought a shotgun with him, waited for him to get to where he was at, shot him once, wrestled with him, and then shot him 2 more goddamn times. He used to work for the district attorney as an investigator, you know, so he has to be one of them good old boys. He's not a killer, no, Look, you stupid son of a bitches, that's premeditated murder. He went and
White America has been raised to believe, A, the police are always the good guys, and frankly, that black lives matter less than white comfort. And until we deal with that, until we deal with the reality, because here's the problem. One person calls the police on a person of color over a barbecue in a park, sleeping in a common room at Yale, sitting at the Starbucks or whatever it is, knowing that Tamir Rice's life was snuffed because someone called the cops on a 12-year-old boy playing with a toy gun. Something that white boys do all across this country without fear of being shot.
So June 1st is the beginning of Pride Month, as most of you probably know. Well, it's come to my attention that on June 1st, there's going to be a group of people going through all platforms of social media, bashing and hating on LGBTQ members. They're going to try to get their accounts banned, and they're just going to be spamming it with a lot of hate. A lot of people, including myself, are going to be going private that day because it'll stop them from attacking us. I literally don't see how somebody could have so much hate in their heart to literally take time out of their life for a whole ass day to go and hate on people for who they are. Literally every day, either somebody gets killed because that person doesn't like the way they love, or somebody kills themselves because they're not accepted for who they love. And some of these kids be younger than me, they're like 9 years old. I don't know when people are gonna learn to grow the fuck up and actually be decent human beings. This world is so fucking cruel. That's it. End of fucking discussion.
Yesterday, in my home state of Minnesota, a black man named George Floyd died shortly after being arrested by police. George was arrested on suspicion of forgery, a nonviolent crime, and after initially resisting police, was eventually handcuffed and put to the ground. That's when a white officer kneeled on the back of George's neck for at least 7 minutes. George cried out, "I can't breathe." Bystanders begged and pleaded for the officer to let off of his neck, but he continued. Despite losing consciousness after several minutes, that white officer continued to kneel on the back of George's neck until the ambulance arrived. Shortly after being taken away by the ambulance, George died. Black lives matter, but once again, it is shown that society doesn't think that they do. George should still be alive today.
Are you dumb? Are you fucking dumb?
All right, TikTok, good morning. Mike Honcho here. Got to go quick because I got a lot to say. This whole George Floyd incident, yeah, it was murder. What those officers did was wrong. It was illegal, and I hope that they are punished accordingly. I'm glad they were fired. I hope they get charged accordingly to the crime, because that's what needs to happen. These guys that wear badges that are bad dudes that we don't like, that we hate more than you, we want them gone. They need to be gone. They do not deserve to be in this profession, and it pisses me off that there are some people saying, wait, we need to hear the whole story. BS. We don't need to hear nothing. Nowhere in defensive tactics training are you learn to put your knee across somebody's neck for 9 minutes while they're screaming for help. If you have that thought and mentality, get the hell out of the field right now. Not all cops are bad, but you're making us look bad. TikTok, guys, be safe, be careful. I love you all. I'll see you next time.
So this picture is taken outside the house of the cop that killed George Floyd, and underneath the picture has this caption that says, "We're outside the murderer's house. He has tried to have food delivered 3 times. Each time delivery driver finds out who they're delivering to, they change their mind. So he's in there hungry. Hope he's fucking scared." I hope so too. I just have a quick question for him. Why don't you just go outside and get your own food? Oh, is it because you're scared? Because you're scared that you might get killed? Or beaten? I wonder who else feels that way. Of being scared and uncertain of what could happen to you when you leave your house. Not knowing if you're gonna get killed, you're gonna get beaten. Just as a simple thing as just going to get food. I wonder who else feels that way.
Kate and I have not seen this yet. Here we go. This is in San Jose earlier today. And some people were hit. And we understand there's some injuries there. You see a protester pounding on the car. And there you see, oh goodness gracious.
Because Black Lives Matter, but not till they're dead, right? For Keith Childress, may he rest in peace, who was shot and killed in December of 2015 when the police officer mistook his phone for a weapon. No officers were charged with this crime. For Betty Jones, may she rest in peace, who was shot and killed by a police officer on Christmas Day after opening the door. No officers have been charged with this crime. For Kevin Matthews, may he rest in peace, who was pepper sprayed and shot after getting into an altercation with the officer. Kevin was schizophrenic. No officers have been charged with this crime. For Michael Noel, may he rest in peace. He was only 32 when he had a mental breakdown. His mother called the police for his own safety, yet he was handcuffed and shot twice with no officers being charged for this crime. For Michael Lee Marshall, may he rest in peace. A 50-year-old man who was unarmed and mentally ill was restrained by 3 sheriff deputies to an unconscious state where he later died 9 days after on life support. No officers have been charged with this crime. And for George Floyd, may he rest in peace, who was handcuffed with his face shoved into the hot concrete, who was slowly suffocated by the knee of one officer as the other stood and watched. No officers have been charged with this crime.
George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd!
When they got you, if he got you like this, then you just relax your body. Breathe in deep, right? Not hard. I mean, you really kind of shallow, right? Because you want to stay alive, son. You want to stay alive, right? And you say, hey, I can't breathe, just in case somebody got a camera looking, and you just breathe, relax, let your body go limp, all right? I need you to stay alive, okay? This is what I taught my son this morning, America. What did you teach yours?
I can't breathe! 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 I can't.
You see this? Pray for Minnesota, y'all. Pray for Minnesota. We need your love.
Don't put your hands in your pockets. Don't put your hoodie on. Don't be outside with no shirt on. Check in with your people. It don't matter even if you're down the street. Don't be out too late. Don't touch anything you're not buying. Never leave the store without a receipt or a bag, even if it's just a pack of gum. Never make it look like there's an altercation between you and someone else. Never leave the house without your ID. Don't drive with a wife beater on. Don't drive with a do-rag on. Don't go out in public with neither. Don't ride with the music too loud. Don't stare at a Caucasian woman. If a cop stop you randomly and start questioning you, don't talk back. Just compromise. If you ever get pulled over, hands on the dashboard, and ask, could you get out your license and registration?
So one of the most common comments that I've been getting is that Black women don't get discriminated against for their hair, which is crazy. So I have a daughter. Her father is Black, and I am Libyan and white. Clearly she's super, super light, but she has some big, beautiful hair. Well, she did. Her texture changed as she got older. It's very interesting. But in kindergarten, big, beautiful blonde afro. She was sent home for being a distraction, for her hair being a distraction. Literally sent home from school for her natural hair. And then I started braiding her hair, like you see, and they were telling me that she can't have synthetic hair. It has to be her natural hair. Her hair can only be braided with her natural hair. So her natural hair isn't okay, and her big afro, and these braids aren't okay because it's not her hair. This really happens, guys.
That's the cop's house.
This is America. Don't got you sleeping up. Look how I'm living up. Police be tripping up. This is America. Guns in my area. I got respect.
I listen to me. I've been beating for more than 300 years. There is blood on these streets, sir. Why are we going to continue being peaceful when they are killing my brothers and sisters? We are being peaceful. We are on the grass. Why are they here? It is because of them why we're here, so why the fuck are they here, sir? I'm tired of being peaceful. We on the grass. I have lost 3 brothers to this, sir. 3! This is not all right. I'm hurt. You don't see my eyes. I'm hurt. My people out here hurt. I'm tired of this. I'm not sitting down. If I gotta die behind my color, I'm gonna die about it. My kids after me, they gonna walk these streets crazy, just like everybody else can walk these streets crazy. I'm not standing down. I'm black and I'm proud and I'm strong. Stand down. Together we are strong. No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No racist.
Police.
No justice.
No peace.
Everyone put their middle finger over their heart and please sing along. Oh, say, can you see all the racists inside? What so proudly they hail as our bodies are swinging. Whose bright lights and black and white cars through the streets come to fight. Oh, the triggers we watch as their deaths are still streaming. But the bloody red stick, the brown fists in the air, gave proof through the night that the pigs were so scared. Oh, say, does that bullet wound still bleed on the hands of the free and the ground at your feet? Bitch.
I want every white person in this room who would be happy to be treated as this society in general treats our citizens, our black citizens. If you, as a white person, would be happy to receive the same treatment that our black citizens do in this society, please stand. You didn't understand the directions. If you white folks want to be treated the way blacks are in this society, stand. Nobody's standing here. That says very plainly that you know what's happening. You know you don't want it for you. I want to know why you're so willing to accept it or to allow it to happen for others.
Black lives absolutely fucking matter, and especially right now more than ever. That is important to know. We say that because it is so fucking very imperative to understand that. If you do not believe that, you are part of the problem. Understand that. We are all human beings going through something. And if you do not think that this is something serious, George Floyd's death, then you are part of the problem. I stand with Black Lives Matter. It is absolutely not okay that this happened. This man needs to answer for it. This officer needs to pay for his crimes. We can't just let this fucking slide again. We're fucking done talking. We're done talking.